Welcome to the Transitions Daily podcast. Transitions Daily is an online recovery group that offers a daily distribution of popular recovery resources accompanied by a secret Facebook group for discussion. We hope you enjoy today's readings.
This is Transitions Daily for December the 20th, read by Kirsty S. from the East Midlands in the United Kingdom. AA Thoughts for the Day. Choices. Looking back, we see that our freedom to choose badly was not, after all, a very real freedom. When we chose because we must, this was not a free choice either, but it got us started in the right direction. When we chose because we ought to, we were really doing better. This time we were earning some freedom, making ourselves ready for more. But when, now and then, we could gladly make right choices without rebellion, holdout or conflict, then we had our first glimpse of what perfect freedom under God's will could be like. Bill W., May 1960. The Language of the Heart, page 302. Thought to consider. We live life in the moment but understand it looking back with the tool of gratitude. Acronyms. ODAAT. One day at a time. Just for today. Compensation. From The Three Legacies of Alcoholics Anonymous. Shortly after the financial investigation episode, Father Ed Dowling, our Jesuit friend from St. Louis, turned up in New York. Still puzzled, I put the case up to him. He asked, "Do you think AA requires your full-time efforts?" I replied, "Yes, I think it does, perhaps indefinitely." Then he inquired, "Could you become a paid therapist, taking money for 12-step work?" I told him that this issue had been settled long since. Most emphatically, I could not, regardless of the consequences, nor could any other AA member. This meant that Dr. Bob and I must certainly never accept money for 12-step work, but that we could be recompensed for special services. We both accepted Father Ed's down-the-middle advice and have stuck by it ever since, and I am glad to say this status for Dr. Bob and me was later accepted as correct in principle by our entire fellowship. Alcoholics Anonymous Comes of Age, page 195. Daily Reflections, The Rewards of Giving. This is indeed the kind of giving that actually demands nothing. He does not expect his brother sufferer to pay him or even to love him. And then he discovers that by the divine paradox of this kind of giving he has found his own reward, whether his brother has yet received anything or not. 12 Steps and 12 Traditions, page 109. Through experience with 12-step work, I came to understand the rewards of giving that demands nothing in return. At first I expected recovery in others, but I soon learned that this did not happen. Once I acquired the humility to accept the fact that every 12-step call was not going to result in a success, then I was open to receive the rewards of selfless giving. As Bill sees it, random quote, The Reality of Spiritual Experiences. Perhaps you raised the question of hallucination versus the divine imagery of a genuine spiritual experience. I doubt if anyone has authoritatively defined what a hallucination really is. However, it is certain that all recipients of spiritual experiences declare for their reality. The best evidence of that reality is in the subsequent fruits. Those who receive these gifts of grace are very much changed people, almost invariably for the better. This can scarcely be said of those who hallucinate. Some might think me presumptuous when I say that my own experience is real. Nevertheless, I can surely report that in my own life and in the lives of countless others, the fruits of that experience have been real, and the benefactions beyond reckoning. Talk, 1960. Big Book quote. We know that while the alcoholic keeps away from drink, as he may do for months or years, he reacts much like other men. We are equally positive that once he takes any alcohol whatever into his system, something happens, both in the bodily and the mental sense, which makes it virtually impossible for him to stop. The experience of any alcoholic will abundantly confirm this. Alcoholics Anonymous, There is a Solution, page 22. 24 hours a day. AA Thought for the Day. Our faith should control the whole of our life. We alcoholics were living a divided life. We had to find a way to make it whole. When we were drinking, our lives were made up of a lot of scattered and unrelated pieces. We must pick up our lives and put them together again. We do it by recovering faith in a divine principle, in the universe that holds us together and holds the whole universe together and gives it meaning and purpose. We surrender our disorganized lives to that power. We get into harmony with the divine spirit and our lives are made whole again. Is my life whole again? Meditation for the day. Avoid fear as you would a plague. Fear, even the smallest fear, is a hacking at the cords of faith that bind you to God. However small the fraying, in time those cords will wear thin, and then one disappointment or shock will make them snap. But for the little fears, the cords of faith would have held firm. Avoid depression, which is allied to fear. Remember that all fear is disloyalty to God. It is a denial of His care and protection. Prayer for the day. I pray that I may have such trust in God today that I will not fear anything too greatly. I pray that I may have assurance that God will take care of me in the long run. Hazelden Foundation, P.O. Box 176, Center City, MN 55012. My name is Kirsty, and I'm an alcoholic.
We hope you enjoyed today's readings. You can also receive Transitions Daily via email and discuss today's readings in our secret Facebook group. So for more information, go to dailyaaemails.com today.
Other than the 24 hours a day reading, unless otherwise specified, all quotes copyright Alcoholics Anonymous World Services, Inc., 1952, 1957, 1967, 1973, 1975, 1976, 1980, 1981, 1984, 1985, 1988, 1990, or 2001.